Okay, welcome to today's lecture. Today we are going to look at how to configure end devices using the ENSP. We are going to focus on Huawei technology for today. Now, there are some three main tools we will need for this particular purpose. That is the ENSP itself, the simulator that allows for us to configure the Cisco devices. We would also need VirtualBox that would help us configure devices such as wireless LAN or wireless devices for real-time use. And then we would also have to install the packet tracer or Wireshark that would allow us to be able to generate traffic or to monitor traffic that is generated on an interface or on a network interface. So we can easily go to Google and then we get the softwares that I have listed. So we can just say download VirtualBox, and then you go ahead and then you install the VirtualBox as I said. Then you also download the Wireshark, or you can download the Windows Packet Capture Pickup. You install it, and then you also search for the ENSP simulator, the Huawei technical support simulator. You visit their website and then it will allow for you to download the simulator. So once you get all these activities or all these tools set and then running on your system, we go ahead and launch our simulator, the ENSP platform. So once you launch it, it opens up, giving you the chance to create a paper project or to create a project for you to do your configuration. So in our scenario, we click on new paper project and then we define the project name. For instance, we say project 1, and then we choose the location for the project to be saved. So we can save the project in any location, say my documents or desktop or any folder of your choice. So once we have this enabled, we go straight to our devices. In our previous lecture, I taught you how to navigate through the various devices. If it's a router, you click on the router and you pick the series you would want to configure. If it's a switch, you select that in that order. A firewall, end device, it depends on which device you want to work on. So in this particular case, we want to look at how to change the name of a simple router, and then how to assign IP addresses, say a static IP address to an interface, and then we generate traffic on it and see. So once we have our device on the platform, we start the device because we can't log onto our device once it is turned off. So we make sure our device is on. We turn it on. You give it some few seconds. Some take up to a minute to boot. It depends on the device you are working on. If it's a device of higher RAM, of course it will take some time to boot. Once the device is up and running, you can just double click on it to get onto the console interface of the device. And in our previous lecture, I told you once the device starts, if you have not configured the device to accept console logins, or if you have not put authentication on the device goes straight to the global mode, allowing for you to switch to the system view by using the command we used in our previous lecture, system-view. That takes us to the system view. We can switch out of the system view by simply typing kill, or we could type quit, or we press Control and then Z together. Control plus Z would take us back to the global view. That is if we are already in the system view. To see your device details, we simply type display version in this case. So you see it displays the version of the router we are using and then which year it is copyrighted to. So the HVRP we see is the versatile router platform of Huawei. So it's the Huawei versatile router platform. Cisco uses the iOS platform, as in, yes, it is iOS. You may be asking yourself why iOS. They are the same vendors for Apple phones, iPhones, and the like. That is why they use the same OS platform for Cisco devices. But with Huawei devices, we use what is called the HVRP, which is the Huawei Versatile Router Platform. On MikroTik devices, we use what is called the MikroTik OS for its configurations. But in this particular course, we are going to focus on the Versatile Router Platform. Now we go into the system view, and then we change the name of our router. How do we change the name of our router? We issue the command sysname, and then we give a space. Again, I taught you people the last time that you can get clues from the next command to use by just hitting the question mark after a command you have already typed, or if you don't even type any command, to get the clues or to get clues on which command is next, you just hit the question mark and then it lists commands below that particular interface or the module you have accessed. So if you are under VLAN, you can just hit the question mark to see the various commands you can use on the VLAN of a Huawei device. So in our concept, we can just say sysname space question mark. What do we see? We see text, host, and name. This is allowing for us to enter the host name, and it should be in text. We can add numbers, but it is as in naming variables. You can't start it with a number, but you can start with a letter and then you end with a number. You could also bring spaces, you could bring underscores, wild characters, and so on and so forth. But just remember, it must be a string character format. So we say RT1, then it accepts our router name. Now we want to go ahead and assign an IP address to the first interface, that is the 0 interface, our electrical port, which is 0/0/0 of our router. That is the default interface we are going to assign the IP address to. How do we access this particular interface, or how do we navigate to this particular interface? We do so by saying giga interface, or you press the tab key to complete the command for you. Giga bit Ethernet 0/0/0. It navigates into the module of 0/0/0 Ethernet gigabit port. Now that we are here, we assign the IP addresses by typing IP address space IP address. So then question mark. It is asking us to enter the IP address we want to assign. So in our case, we are going to assign 10.0.0.1 to our first interface. So we say 10.0.0.1, and then next is question mark. What is it asking for? It is asking us for the length of our subnet mask. So we can either use the bits or we specify it as it is depicted in the subnet mask format. So if we say 24, it means we are referring to a class C subnet mask. If we say 8, we are referring to a class A, which of course takes 8 bits. Then if we say 16, we are referring to the class B subnet mask. In our context, we are going to use the class C, but we are going to specify it in full, which will be 255.255.255.0. So once we do this, we go next. It means we have finished assigning our IP address to this particular interface. We go ahead and hit enter or the return key to execute our command. So once we have not received any error, we get a confirmation message telling us that we have successfully assigned the IP address to the interface. Now let us see if what we have done actually took effect. How do we do this? We display the configuration. So we say display this. So once we say display this, what happens? It tells us that on gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 we get IP address 10.0.0.1 and a subnet mask of what? 255.255.255.0. So this is a simple a preview of how to assign a static IP address to our interface. Now in the next lesson, we are going to add another router, then we assign an IP address to it, establish a connection between these two interfaces, and then we generate traffic on the two interfaces and see what happens. If we are able to communicate or not communicate, then we resolve it from there. Thank you for taking part in this particular lecture. This is Godfred Yaka, Sunyani Technical University Network Tutorials.